Hello! I wanted to talk to you today about a Twsbi 540. Now I'll just tell you, Twsbi 540 is a discontinued model. Its successor is the Twsbi 580, and at the moment I have no experience with the Twsbi 580. Actually, after my experience with this pen, I may never have experience with the Twsbi 580, which we'll get to that in a minute. So the Twsbi 540 is about the size of a Noodler's Conrad acrylic. Capped, posted, we'll post the acrylic, we'll post Mr. Twsbi. Oh, ick. Yeah, not a good posting pen. I mean, I can post it, but it just kind of sits up there and it's ready to fall off. As far as posting goes, let's see here. It's got about an inch on the Conrad. I don't post it. I recommend against posting it. The Twsbis just are not good posting pens. I think there's a few that post. This isn't one of them. When they're uncapped, right the way I usually do, they're about the same. So let's talk about the Twsbi. First of all, it comes, it's a piston filler. It's sort of a demonstrator. You can't get the 580 in this color, but you can get the 700 in this color if you like the color. I bought an extra fine nib. I think I'll just have to toss a photograph in there because that's not showing up, but extra fine nib. You can screw the nib unit out and put other units in there. Because I have this pen full of ink, I'm not going to do that. Piston filler is operated right here. The pen itself comes in a plastic case. The case includes a wrench, some silicone grease. I've mentioned before, I don't like this kind of excessive packaging. It just seems wasteful, and I always think, well, why not make the pen a little bit cheaper? Use a little bit less packaging, we'll all be happy. But I will admit, the wrench has come in handy, because I have taken this pen apart once. Now, screw cap, it doesn't dry up. It seems to form a pretty good seal, and overall, it's okay. This is just not a pen that thrills me. It should. I like the built-in filling mechanism. I like a lot of things about the pen, but once I start writing with it, there's just, don't even know how to explain it. It's just nothing there. It's not for me. It's not my style of pen, I guess. The only other thing I'd like to note, which is interesting, is I can unscrew the end of this pen, and please, please, please don't let me make a mess. You see, that whole part comes off. By the way, I've had this part crack, and I ended up replacing it. I had to email Twsbi, but they were very good about sending me a replacement part. This part here fits into the inkwell. The inkwell that works with the Twsbi 540 and the Twsbi 580 is the Twsbi 50 Diamond. It has nice faceted sides. I bought the version that has a metal cap. There apparently is a plastic cap available at slightly less cost. And it's interesting. Now, I'm going to be careful here. This is Noodler's Bay State Blue in here. And so if I spill this, I'm going to be really, really sorry. Because who wants to waste such precious ink? Alright, so I can unscrew the big cap, the whole thing. Inside here, which you can't see and I'm not going to touch because I don't need Smurf fingers, is a little inner bottle so that will hold the ink even if I just flip it upside down. Let me screw it back on first before I flip it upside down. Flip it upside down and it'll fill that inner well so I can get a good fill even with a really large pen. So this is awesome for any type of pen, not just a Twsbi. Yep, got some Bay State Blue. Now, with the Twsbi specifically, the Twsbi 540 and the Twsbi 580, if I unscrew just this top part, I won't tip it, but there is a little piece in here. I'll insert a photograph that I'll take later that the pen can fit on. So if I take my pen, I unscrew the nib and the grip, it will fit on exactly like this. Makes a decent seal, and I can just turn this run the piston, and it will fill the pen without getting ink on the nib or the grip, and I don't have to wipe it off. So if that's something you're interested in, that'd be a good inkwell to buy with your Twsbi. Now, if it's not something you're interested in, this is still a very nice inkwell, especially if you get one of those bottles that's really hard to use. Just very nice inkwell. So I will insert a photograph later. Let's talk a little bit about writing with the Twsbi 540. I'm in the kitchen right now because I'm making bread, and we'll see if it comes. It might get done while I'm talking. But let's look at my fingers here first. No, this did not come from the ink bottle. This came from the pen, and that's one of the things that's developed the longer I've owned this pen, is it seems to leak, and I can't make it stop, but it leaks right around here where the grip unscrews from the section. And then it gets in the threads, and I just always end up Bay State blue colored whenever I write with it. So honestly, I'd like to find a different pen to be my Bay State blue pen. I'm just losing my love of this. So, a little writing sample. You can see that there's some flex to the nib. Not a whole lot. This is a very hard nib. But if you push down, you can get a little flex. Don't push too hard or you'll spring it. It writes pretty smoothly. I don't object to any of that. It just, as I said before, the pen doesn't thrill me. And the longer I've owned it, the less I like this. I don't have a single other pen that does this to me. So I thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.